This is Yo Sensei. In today's tutorial, we are going to learn how to design with numeric patterns in Rhino, using Rhino's move, rotate, and scale tools to create rhythm in the design. We will be using tutorial file, which you can download from description of this video below. Okay, let's get started. You see on this file is this series of bars that exist in this site, in this viewport. So we can create this kind of numeric pattern by shifting objects one by one. So first, Rhino, what I want you to do is turn on grid snap up top, and then create that 1 by 2 by 20 inch bars. 1, enter, 2, but enter, 20, enter. So you can create XYZ box 1 by 2 by 20. And so with grid snap, you can copy this object by typing copy, enter from here, and 1 inch apart. So you can use a grid snap to copy this object 10 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so you have these bars. Now, what we can do is we would like to shift everything by 1 inch in this direction, which is Y direction. So select everything but the first one. Click on the green arrow, single click, type 1. Command click or control click to deselect the first one, and click on this, and it's already 1. So you just can press enter. So you just keep repeating this process to complete that. Okay, so what this could be useful in a way to create patterns or some kind of facade pattern that would be, that would repeat itself, and having this kind of, interesting pattern that is a facade of the building. That could be nice. Okay, so that would be the one. Second one is creating pattern with rotation. So this is really, interesting situation where you can, it's copying objects into Z direction, the up direction by 1, and it keeps twisting itself. So that's nice. So the thing that you're gonna do is create a box that is 10 inch by 10 inch by 1 inch. Okay, and copy the boxes in Z direction, which is up direction, for 10 times 2 units apart. And so I could just go to the front view and project snap on, and then copy these objects 2 inches apart. So 2 units apart, 2, 2, 2, 2. But there is a easy way to do this. So let's do it that way. So you need to be in perspective view in order to do this. So make sure you are in perspective view. Select this object, type array command. Array. Okay. So when you press enter, number in X direction 1, because we are copying only 1. Not only copying in Z direction. Number in Y direction is 1, and number in Z direction type 20 or 10, and Z spacing. So the height, we want 2 inches in between the cubes, and the thickness of the cube is 1 inch, so the Z spacing is 3. Okay, and then when you press enter, it will automatically copy this for you. How nice is that? So we are going to go into 4-view mode and use the point object point object to decide where this can go in the center. So I can just select, somewhere near the corner. Doesn't have to be in the center. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my first one and then type rotate. Okay, enter. And then click on this point as a center point. So the center point needs to be consistent. So I'm just going to type 10 for 10 degree rotation. Click on the second one, press enter to repeat last command, rotate, click on center, 20. And then you keep number 3, enter to repeat the last command. Click on the center point and type 30. And then you keep repeating this process, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay, so that way you can create this kind of twisted tower, which is quite nice when you actually change angles and look at it. Very nice. Okay, so that is that. So that's number 2. So number 3 is changing the rhythm of the object using the scale tool. Okay, so again, we're gonna draw this box 10 by 10 by 1. Okay, and run array command. Number in x direction is 1, y direction is 1, z direction is 10, and I think I want to do the distance between cubes to be 1 inch, so that would be 2 inch for the distance between each other. So that is that. So this time we are going to use another command that is scale 2D. So what scale 2D command does is that when you click on this object, type scale 2D, you can scale this object in 2D. So in the top view, XY proportion, it doesn't change the depth, but it's only changing the size in XY direction. So this is useful. Again, we can specify the center point. This time I'm just gonna put the center point in the middle. So what I wanna do is I will select my second object from the front view, type scale 2D, and then click on the center point, and then go to 0.9 for 90%. And next one, select it from front view, scale 2D by typing space key, and then center point 0.8. So we will keep repeating this process until it goes down to maybe 50%, and then maybe it's going to go up. So I'm just going to type 60% again, 70, 80, 90, and then it becomes 100. I actually want to do more. So array again, and 1, 1, 10, the spacing is 2. So in this, so the last one was 100%. So I'm going to scale 1D for this one, scale 2D for this one, and I'm gonna go 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5. Okay, so you can really shift the scales to create this kind of rhythmic pattern. Array polar command is going to let you rotate and copy at the same time. So select this object, array polar, center of polar array, somewhere around here, number of items 12, and then it will fill in 360 degrees and by 12 times. So that's going to create this kind of array. So it just, within 360 degrees, it's going to fill with rotation copy 12 times. Very nice. So there is another option in array polar, which is Z offset, which is really nice. So when you have this kind of object that is kind of like in different skewed angle, it can become very interesting. So array polar, center of polar array here, and then now I'm just going to do 24 items and 720 degrees, and look at this one, Z offset. So what it does is that every time it copies, it's going to kind of move slightly into Z direction. So if I do 2, then it's going to give me, this kind of rotation copying while going up. So it's kind of like, it gives you this kind of like really beautiful pattern. So that is that. Okay, so the next one is contour. Contour command is a really good command, and it kind of gives you a very, very clean and smooth patterning of objects. So that's really nice. So first, what we want to do is create a couple of lines to create this kind of organic surface. Okay. So I have these 3 lines, and so move them apart. Okay, and then loft these curves. So it gives you this kind of 3-dimensional kind of very smooth fabric-like line. Surface. And so what you want to do next is go to your front view and run contour command. Contour. Okay. And what it's going to do is you select the object and contour plane base point. So you want to go from the left side and you want to go to the right side. So perpendicular to your surface. And the distance between contour lines can be 5. So what it does is that it's going to draw lines and project on this surface at the same time. So it creates this kind of line on top of a surface. So what we want to do now is that we want to just group these lines. Okay, so these lines are grouped, and run split command. Use of the surface, enter, and click on these lines, enter. So now this object has been split by the contour plane. So yeah, so it gives you this kind of very nice pattern that is intercepted by this the smooth surface intercepted by this numeric pattern. So I hope this was helpful, and using the numbers in design can create very beautiful effects. Okay, thank you, and I will see you next time.